Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Thursday live. And it's normally I don't do a live on a Thursday, but I have got a wonderful guest that is joining me. You will be so delighted to hear all the things that she has to say. Her name is Sarah Campbell, and I'm going to invite her on. And can I just say a very happy 4th of July to all of my American friends and customers and family out there in the US. So a happy 4th of July. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Right, let me go in here and invite Cyril. Let me just see. Oh, there's no request to join. Cyril, you need to put a request to join. Let me see how I can do that. Oh, here, I can maybe do that. Let's find you here. Invite to join. Let me do that. It's terrible. I am not the most technical person in the world here. And I accept you're there. Now, hopefully you should come on any second now. Did that come on? Did you come in? Oh, there you are. You're coming in.
Hi.
Hello there. It is so lovely to see you. It's wonderful. I just want to tell everyone, I want you to tell everyone about you, because I think that you are quite remarkable in all of the things that you've done. And how long have we known each other? We've known each other a very long time, haven't we?
We have. Well, I'm in my very, very, very late 60s. So I think I probably met you when I was maybe in my late 30s.
Yeah, that could be right, actually, because I know that we met probably about 30, I would say at least 30 years ago, maybe more.
And so I was a celebrity stylist and styling for commercials and films and TV and privately. And you have always been a fantastic makeup artist. And from my memory, one of the biggest jobs we both did was for American TV during the pre the wedding of William and Kate.
Yeah, we did a whole big thing on that, didn't we?
We did. So what I remember is, and I still have it on my show reel and on my website. I think it might even be on my link tree. We were given a Kate lookalike that I had to. It was get the look for Kate for American TV. I think it might have been NBC or something. And so you were doing the makeup on this lookalike Catherine, and I was doing the wedding dresses and taking her around London for how she got the look. And also, actually, this was quite a long time ago, because it was also for her engagement, getting the look for their engagement. So the whole thing was a recreation. And then I had to go around London talking about how she got the look. But then both of us reported on the wedding in different ways. So you reported on the wedding for...
Well, I did the presenters. I did the presenters for Extra, and that was really wonderful. So I did the presenters for Extra for Meghan and Harry's wedding, and we were literally near each other.
That moves on more. So while we're still on the Kate and William, so I reported from Westminster Abbey on who was wearing what for BBC Radio 2. And then going on to Meghan and Harry, so there was a bit of a royal thing going on for both of us, as in, so I was cast as a celebrity royal style reporter, if you like, for BBC and different things. And you did Meghan and Harry. You did what for them?
I did the makeup for the people that were presenting for Extra, the Americans, and they were covering. We were literally opposite the castle, and we got to see everything. It was quite spectacular. I'm not going to lie. It was. You know, when it's one of those kind of pinch me moments, the kind of thing. So yeah,
it's the pageantry, isn't it? And then for me, my last link with the royals, as such, was reporting with ITV on when first Meghan, love her or hate her, but she was when she was first, let's call it more loved than she is now. I'm trying not to be controversial, because I'm not creating an opinion.
Right to their opinions, of course.
So when she was doing their first royal tour, and I was reporting on her and the messages she put out on everything she wore. There was always an underlying message without question on every single item she wore, and that was for ITV.
Yeah. And I remember seeing something just recently about some shoes that she was wearing, that these were sort of a recycled things that were made from recycled something or other as well.
That was part of it. Exactly
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything from the dresses to the shoes. There's always a message. Anyway, moving on from Megan, because this is more about us helping women to be the best version of themselves.
This is just true, because I'm going to just quickly, because I've got so many notes about you that I'm going to have to just quickly, and well, that is about, I was just going to say, that's what I really love about you, because you are passionate about empowering women and men of all ages to be the best version of themselves, not to be something that is the trend or the look, or, you know, having to go and have this, that, and the other thing done. It is about bringing out their own essence, isn't it?
It is. So this all started from when I was working all the time with celebrities and realized that every celebrity has their own insecurities.
Yeah, me too.
And the more you're in the public eye,
yeah,
the more you're in the public eye, the more you worry about how you feel about yourself and how others perceive you. So from that, I realized that everybody has body confidence issues, and they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see. So I've always wanted to help women love what they see in the mirror. Men tend to look in the mirror and more dismissive about the bits they might not like. But women,
also,
we will.
You can be going through women go through big life changes. I mean, like we were just talking about a wedding. So there's a wedding, there's a birth of a child where your body does change shape and things like that. You could be going through a divorce, or you can be breaking up with somebody. Anything like that, any kind of thing, menopause, perimenopause, menopause, illnesses, all sorts of different things. Yeah, and it can.
So all of those things change how you feel about yourself, not from looking in the mirror, but internally. Exactly. So my USB is helping women and men, and anyone of any what's the word? General gender.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Of being the best version of themselves from inside out. Yeah. So that is my business, but my platform on social media is helping to empower women, and with a hashtag ageless inspiration, ageless style, ageless women. It doesn't matter what age you are, you want to be your best you. Yeah. So my first tip was going to be.
Yeah, we're going to do our five. We all have five. We have 5 tips. But what I was just about to say, because I have a very similar philosophy to you. Mine is the best you at every age, and it is knowing that, you know, you may not look like you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, but you're still good. You still are a wonderful person. It is not, you know, you're not less than, and you don't need to be invisible. So you and I are singing off the same hymn sheet, or whatever you want to call it.
We've both got colour on, which goes to my first tip. So my first tip is, whatever age you are, and especially having worked with many women who wanted to disappear into the background, not even from being older, but they just didn't want to be noticed, I would advocate, you don't need to wear black. It will drag your skin tones down. Mm-hmm. You want colors that lift you visually from other people looking at you, but also colors that lift you internally and bring you joy.
Yeah, no, so that's a really great point, because also too, some people, they opt for that kind of beige, and then as we go gray and we lose pigment in our skin, sometimes beige can look wonderful and classic and elegant, but other times it can really drain you, and it can make you look invisible.
Exactly. So a client I had a long time ago was a teacher at school. She was a drama teacher. Who you would think, if you're a drama teacher, you would be out there. You want to be extrovert. You want to be noticed. She wore beige. I went through her wardrobe, because that's part of what I do. I went through her wardrobe and found that every single thing she had was a neutral color, from beige to black to gray to nothing with color. So I said, this is interesting. You're on stage. You're a drama teacher. You want to be noticed. She said, no, I don't want to be noticed. So I said, well, I'm quite psychological. always hear what people don't say. I read between the lines. I hear between the lines. So it transpired that her mother, as she was growing up, had told her she was never going to be pretty. She wasn't pretty. And so she, therefore, that was ingrained in her, in the side of her that goes back to her childhood.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to be invisible. However, she did have one red dress in her wardrobe, which we put on. And she realized how different it made her feel.
Color does make you feel different. I know that if I'm, some days I do want to be invisible because I'm just like, oh, just don't. But other days I'm really, I love that color brings you joy. It brings you joy, and it lifts you when you're feeling a bit, you know.
Blur. Yes. And we all dress often how we feel.
Yeah.
We have feeling thin days, we have feeling fat days, we feeling sexy days.
Yeah.
And we dress accordingly. We have lots of different wardrobes suiting how we feel that day.
Yeah.
So we're obviously both wanting to feel joy this evening.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
a
what's your
joyous
first tip?
occasion to have you here, so I'm
Oh,
definitely
thank you.
enjoy mode. Yeah, definitely. Well,
What's your first tip?
Yeah, my first tip is learn something new. I am always trying to learn something new, whether it is how to go onto Instagram, how to create a reel. But right now I'm learning how I'm doing a certification in nutritional science. And I'm learning, I'm going to, it literally, I feel like I'm back at school. I haven't been at school since I was for over 50 years. It is really challenging. And I'm almost in a panicky state when I have to do like an assignment, but challenging us that way mentally keeps us current and keeps us going. So for me, it's always learn something, and it can be something like what you were saying, but maybe learning to not wear black. It doesn't have to be a big major thing. It doesn't have to be learn a new language, but a lot of people I know are learning a new language. They're learning how to do cross stitch. They're learning how to do yoga. They're learning all these different things. So learning to me keeps your mind stimulated and keeps you fresh and young.
It's also
And I don't mean young as in young, youthful, but keeps your mind vibrant.
It's also learning about yourself.
Yes, that too. Absolutely.
So that you can grow.
Yeah.
So interestingly, your first tip goes on to my second one.
Oh.
We're
We
aligned
haven't compared
here.
tips, by the way. We haven't spoken to each other about our tips at all, but I have a
I
feeling that
didn't.
some of our tips might be similar.
But it's good because we find out what we're both thinking, which is on the similar lines.
Yeah.
So my second tip is about mindset. So we're talking about clothes that bring you joy. So I believe in the power of attraction and creating your own destiny. So my second tip is when you wake up in the morning, you think of the positives in your life and everything that you're grateful for, because I believe that positivity brings positivity and negativity attracts negativity. So it's not however rubbish your life is, and we all have real shit going on some days.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of different things, whether it's health or family or finance, anything. If you could just find 5 positive things that you could be grateful for, it could be something tiny, just tiny. It could be the food on your plate. It could be anything. So you think of that.
It's interesting you say that, because when I was going through a really difficult, stressful time, I was grateful for the fact that I could switch on a light. I was grateful that water was coming out of my tap.
We both had health issues. Yours are pretty serious health issues, and mine were physical from things that went wrong with an operation. However, oddly, my grateful one, which is you were doing switching on a light, and I'm thinking it was really exciting to be able to get my knickers on myself. To be able to lift my leg up again to get them on without help. So, there's things you take for granted that actually you should never take for granted. And we'll talk about our health things another time, because it's not about this. It's about helping women to be the best persons.
But it's those small things like that you can turn on the tap and clean water comes, or relatively clean water comes out of the tap. It may be not mountain stream water or anything like that, but it's water that's not going to kill you, especially here in the Western world. But you've got things that you can, you've got your light, you've got, you all of these things that you just literally, you can breathe. You know, all these little things, and it's just amazing. So that's a great one. Okay, mine is, I'm going to be a little bit superficial here. Mine is skincare, hair care, and makeup. Be adaptive, and don't just think that what looked great on you when you were in your 20s, 30s, 40s is going to look great on you now, because you're going to get disappointed, because we tried to look older and more mature when we were younger, and we don't need that help when we get older. So it is not throwing everything out and starting afresh. It's just doing small things like how you shape your brows, where you put your eyeliner. It is not so much
Oh, let's just stop
product.
on that. Let's go to just brows for a second, because
You love your brows. I know you're a brow
although I'm not
queen.
a makeup artist, I do work with women for their whole looks, including I do makeup for them. However, the thing that I notice ages women the most is no brows, and brows that have disappeared into their face because they've gone blonde or grey. So my absolute top tip is making sure your brows show. Look,
Yeah,
we both have
we
brows.
both have brows. I totally agree with you. But it's little things like that. Like you said, when if I take my eyebrows off, they're very faded and patchy. Like,
Mine too.
yeah,
Mine are
yeah,
dyed and
yeah.
penciled.
So,
Or, in fact, in my dream would be to have them.
oh,
What do I mean?
I know what you mean. Microbladed.
Microbladed, absolutely. But I haven't at this moment. So yes, but brows make so
Yeah,
much
we do
difference. Sorry,
have a question from a
I've
lady.
gone into your
Yeah.
tips. I'm so sorry.
No. I don't mind you doing that. That's absolutely fine. Because the other question I had, Lady Elaine, a lovely viewer here, and she was asking about moisturizers. And I use a moisturizer which I love. It's Dr. David Jack. It is not. It is got an SPF 50. I've only recently discovered it in the last few months. But you've had something very unique done moisturizer wise for your skin.
Oh yes, well that was so what I do once a year is I have injectables, not fillers, but I have vitamin injectables, which is a mixture of vitamins and hyaluronic acid, which I did post on my grid as a video, actually while I was having it done. It's not the most pleasant thing. It is slightly painful. It's lots of little needles going quite shallowly into the face, but it lasts for up to a year,
Right.
and it definitely helps the wrinkles, and definitely the hyaluronic acid does help plump and retain the moisture in the skin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My one.
Unfortunately, I was going to say it doesn't help chins and neck, but it does help the face.
Well, that's good. I tell you what I love, and anyone that's seen me do this before, I've talking about this kind of thing. I've got this. This is ancient old. This is one of the light
Red
masks
mouth
when they
mask.
first came out. I got this in 2018, and I still use it. It still works. You know, let me just show you here. Let me quickly do this. You can see it's still functioning and doing all the things it needs to do. And I'll turn it off now. You know, but I love that. And I also like my micro needling thing. And I've been doing micro needling for 22 years. It's a long time before it became fashionable and popular to do it, because it made sense to me about stimulating your collagen. And I know that you're not a big fan of
No,
filters.
no, I'm
Neither
going
am
to.
I.
Oh, I'm not. No, I never use filters. But I'm going to add something about microneedling for women. That if women buy a microneedle set from the internet, whether it's on Amazon or whatever, they need to be super careful on the sterilization of it. Because if you're puncturing your skin, which in essence you are, you can create infections. And also you need to be careful. You're a makeup artist, you understand how this, but if generally women are using something that don't quite understand how it works, you can actually damage your skin more.
Absolutely. When I first bought it, the company that I bought it from showed me how to use it, showed me how to clean it, showed me all the pressure to put on. So it wasn't me just going, oh, well, that looks good on Amazon, tickle, tickle, get it. Ooh, that's great. No. I did exactly what you said, but I would suggest that anybody buying anything like that pins or makes holes in their skin, that they do speak to somebody who's a professional that can guide them through it, and then you'll know what to do.
I'm going to add to what you're saying. So we were talking about the hyaluronic acid, and we were talking about putting moisture back into the skin. So the other thing I do regularly is lymphatic drainage.
Oh,
So
me as well.
LPG, lymphatic drainage, you can have on your face.
Yeah.
The LPG, which actually does help stimulate the collagen as well, but also the lymph system helps your whole wellness, your immune system,
Yeah.
especially as you know, and you need to have your lymph moving well to have a good immunity. Well, my last tip is food to eat, so we'll come back to that.
Well,
However,
I think mine might be
the
the same thing, but no, mine's fashion, so that's okay. We'll get to, you'll do food, I'll do fashion.
but
So,
going back to the lymphatic
yeah,
drainage, so I have LPG, lymphatic drainage,
yeah,
entomology on my body, not so often because I can't afford to do it a lot, but I do it and I have a course and it 100% helps. I'm not saying it gets rid of cellulite, but it certainly helps it.
you have that, you filmed that
I
happening
filmed
to
that
you as well,
as
didn't you?
well,
Which
yeah.
I think is really great because it shows people what it is. So I think that's really good. I do lymphatic drainage every morning. So when I'm doing that's what part of my morning routine. So I do my meditation for 20 minutes and then I do all my lymphatic
Do
drainage
you,
and everything like that.
do you use a skin? Do you use a skin brush then?
I use a skin brush and I also do it manually like this and all of the things. And then I do the dry brushing. You're so right. Lymphatic drainage is so important. It's one of those things that most people kind of just dismiss because it doesn't seem like it's doing a lot because you can't see what it's doing, but it's doing everything inside.
So skin brushing,
Yeah.
you can just buy a skin brush easily and you just gently, very gently do it. But one of the buzzwords, if you like, of doing massages now is lymphatic massage, manual lymphatic massage.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you look at any of the apps, like if you go to the Ruby app or anywhere, their biggest massage request is lymphatic drainage at the moment.
I did not know that. I started doing it because I did a lot of research into my what
Your
I have,
situation,
and they were
yeah.
Exactly, and I was told that lymphatic drainage is so important. So that is something that I've really sort of honed in on in the last, I would say 2-3 years now. So that's really important.
So for women who've had breast cancer, often the lymph nodes have been taken away from under the arms, which is even more important to have lymph drainage going successfully all the time because your lymph isn't working, then you can be quite swollen and your health is not doing it. You know, it's just
it
not. You
compromises
need
your health.
lymph to be working.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt you to do it. So you're not hurting yourself. It's not like you're not eating something or doing like the microdermal needling or anything like that. Okay, so what is your number 3?
My number 3, actually all our tips are linking. So my number 3 is exercise.
Oh, mine is too.
Exercise is firstly for bringing you joy, especially if anyone gets depression or feels low. The first thing you want to do, which however hard it is to maybe drag yourself out of bed, just to go outside, look at the sky, nature, the world in its natural state. You know, the trees, the flowers, the birds, listen to those and go for a walk, even if it's just for 10 minutes. But as someone who has always styled people to help them to look and feel their best, part of the whole exercise thing is presenting yourself in the best way possible. So posture is, as I sit up and talk, posture is super important. So I teach body confidence and confidence. So if you're public speaking or walking into a room, you should never walk in this sort of slumpy thing because people will just, you know, we want to be noticed as someone older. You don't want to be invisible. So the more you shrink into yourself and become a sort of shell, the more you can stand up and feel proud and, you know, have an invisible cord lifting you to the sky. That will create a better posture also for your internal organs as well to be working better and make all your clothes look better, which actually I'm just going to go on, which I hadn't thought about when I'm talking, but I'm thinking about it now. So for older women, for women of all ages, I used to have a lingerie website and have shapewear because of the celebrities on the red carpet. So obviously shapewear was quite important for them to look good under their clothes. So if you have a well-fitting bra that keeps your breasts in the position they might have been when you were 20. And still back there again by proper support, then also it will make, if you stand well, it will put your breasts into the right place with the correct underpinnings as well. But also, the most important bit of all, it will create a space from between your breasts to your waist and make you look slimmer.
Wow, okay. I think good fitting underwear is so important. And I see so many women out there that I just think you need a better bra. You need a better bra. And it's because what happens is we get a bra, it fits us, and then we kind of stick in the same thing, but our breast shape changes.
Yep.
And so we do need to be fitted or adjusted to make it so it is good for us, you know.
Because most of us women think, oh, we're, I don't know, 34D, 38, double D, F, whatever.
Yeah.
And once you've been fitted, you think, well, that's my bra size.
Forever.
Obviously, if you're pregnant or post-pregnant, it's going to change. But we all have that fixation that that's the bra size. Well, it's not. You need to keep on being fitted. And my other tip is be careful where you're fitted, because in an ideal world, every woman I've ever fitted for a bra needed for the better fit to go down a back size and up a cup size.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Because
I did
most
not know
women
that.
hoist their bras up by their straps, whereas the bra actually should fit really well around your torso, and the straps should be a secondary thing.
Because otherwise it digs in, and doesn't it give you like neck pain and things like that? Because I know that
Especially
a
if you've
lot of
got,
women have said that they have neck pain, and they say, oh, it feels so much better when I don't wear a bra. And I'm thinking it has to be connected to the bra.
especially women with heavier breasts, and never, ever, ever have the wire that cuts you in at sides.
Yeah, no, that's okay. My number
Yours.
3 is, funnily enough, mine is exercise. Mine is self-care, and that includes exercise, meditation, that kind of thing. So I've always been somebody, I used to do yoga all the time, and I love yoga. And I can't really do yoga that much at the moment, but I'm starting to dip my toe back into the water. But I'm going to try a bar class, because as we get older, our balance, well, at least my balance, is not so good. So I figure with the bar, I can have something to hold on. So I'm not going to tip over, because I know that when I try to do triangle and things like that in yoga, I'm like, and it was happening because I had spinal surgery way back in 2020, and that kind of just threw me off because I couldn't go back and do stuff. So for me, it's self-care. And like you said about the whole thing about the mindset and everything like that, it's really interesting because all of our tips are very similar, and I'm kind of blown away that we never even spoke about what our tips were going to be.
No.
But it just goes to show that we're women like ourselves, and women that we're speaking to probably are saying the same thing. I've asked out there that they maybe, if anybody's watching there and wants to share some of their tips with us, we would love to hear some of your things that you do that make you feel good as well. Okay, so that's mine. Mine
Well,
is,
I'm going to continue. I'd like to continue with your tip that you just did. So my exercise, because I had such major surgery twice for hips and then hip revision, because it was completely went wrong. It's another story altogether. So my go-to used to be, I did ballet till I was in my 20s, and I've always danced. So I'm not really allowed to do yoga because I'm too stretchy.
Oh, wow.
And too stretchy isn't good. But as most women get older, they're not so stretchy. However, I am not the norm. People who know me, I'm not the norm. So I do Pilates. So that is my lifesaver. But you were talking about balance. So the most important thing as we age, particularly for people much older than us, and I also do Tai Chi, I've noticed that a lot of women and men, so I'm 69, but much older than us, and the same age and younger, can no longer balance.
Oh,
so
I can't balance. I am absolutely rubbish. And I used to be able to do a freestanding headstand 4 years ago, and in 4 years I have deteriorated so much, and that's what shocks me.
Super important every day, and this is for you as well, to stand, even as you clean your teeth, on one foot as you clean your teeth, and then then on the other foot. So at some points during your day, you're testing your balance. And then if you can actually shut your eyes when you're standing on one foot, maybe hold on to something, but it's quite hard. And then also when you're standing and shutting your eyes, look from left to right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That also affects your balance. And also, if you walk on a straight line, just make sure there's nothing in your way. Then shut your eyes. All of those create your spatial awareness, your knowing what's going to come. There's a word for it. Well, it's more than your spatial awareness. But if you walk with your eyes shut in your house, somewhere safe, it will increase your ability to balance and understand what happens when you shut your eyes.
Oh, I'm going to try that in my kitchen. So I've got big space in my kitchen, so I can walk in my kitchen quite easy. That I'm going to try.
But the standing
it's very
on
interesting.
one foot is super important.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when you've been able to do something and then suddenly, well, not suddenly, 4 years, but you then cannot do it. And you can't, I mean, literally balancing on one foot. There was something that came on my Instagram feed, and I was looking at it, and it said, okay, you need to stand. There was a man and a woman, they were standing on one foot, and however many seconds you could hold it, and that was your age. I could hold it for hardly any seconds on one foot. The other foot, the other leg, I could hold it slightly longer seconds.
It's your muscle memory as well.
It is. It is. Well, that's what I spoke to.
I know what the word is. Your proprioception.
Yeah. Somebody I spoke to a couple of weekends ago, because I went to this event, and they were talking about the balance thing and how important it is as we get older, because our brain isn't telling our leg to do the same thing, and that whole perception thing, and we have to really engage with that, because it's something that it deteriorates, but it doesn't have to.
No, it doesn't have to.
No. So, okay, what's your number 4?
Well, I've sort of gone already into my 4 because I might have linked with yours. So my number 5 is probably going to be linking to yours again. So my number 5 for actually aging well and having being the best version of yourself that you can be, the food you put into you makes you the person you are. So I have done a nutrition degree. I did that before lockdown. I do all these different random things.
So do I, and I love it. I think it's really fascinating. Like I say, I love to learn. I think that why not? I don't know everything. I probably know nothing.
It's always still learning, and you learn also from when you're listening to your clients, whatever they do. You realize that you're learning all the time from other people's experiences. So
absolutely.
I am very pro eating as healthily as you can. I don't mean having the occasional splurge on a croissant or things, but generally, if you can afford it, to buy organic food, and certainly not buying any ultra processed foods. And the other weekend, I was with my family, and my ex-husband was looking through his fridge. We were because I was cooking. I'm friends with my ex-husband.
I'm friends with my ex-husband as well. So, just because you're not married to them doesn't mean that they're not nice people. Sometimes you just don't. They're not the right person for you at that time. So whatever.
But the point was, most men tend to not eat healthily. He did think he eats healthily. However, we just showed him what was in his fridge, and he had what's it when it's not butter, but it's like a soft butter. What's the word? It's like comes in a box.
Oh, I know that's kind of soft.
It's like a Livio or something like that. Yeah. It's processed.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, I know.
He didn't, and also, so all the things that he thought were super healthy actually had something processed. There was ultra processed in it, and one of the biggest culprits as well. Every single thing we eat, even down to hummus, which you think when it says made with olive oil, it's made with olive oil. It hasn't. You look at it; it's got rapeseed in, and rapeseed is one of the most inflammatory products you can have, and every single thing we buy this is nothing to do with fashion and style anymore, but it's
No,
just
but
how
it's
we live
about
to look.
well-being. It's about us feeling good. I think what we put into my number 4 is nutrition. My number 4 is, I can show you nutrition. My number 4, because it is. And I've been fascinated by nutrition since I was 14. My mother went to a thing called the Golden Door in California,
Oh, that was a
and
health retreat,
oh,
a super expensive spa.
she, the woman that Deborah Skirchley, whatever, I can't remember her surname properly, but Deborah, she's 101, 102 right now. She's still going strong. She's amazing. But I just remember reading her book and thinking, wow, wow. And so from then onwards, I've just literally been absorbing anything to do with it, and I'm delighted that you feel the same, because it's so nice
Oh,
to
I'm going to
speak to
add
somebody.
something else on the,
Yeah,
because we were talking about
yeah,
butter a second ago. So eating good
yeah.
fats, as in
Olive
olive
oil.
oil, butter occasionally, some cheese. Obviously, if people have too much cholesterol, you need to be careful. But having good fats make you feel fuller longer.
Yeah.
So all those who think they're being super healthy and want to go on a diet having low fat
Hmm.
foods, it doesn't help.
No,
It's actually
absolutely.
worse, and
And
it'll make
also
you
too,
pile on the weight.
low fat foods, they have a lot of sugar in them, and sugar is so bad. I mean, I don't have anything with sugar in it. I try to avoid sugar like the plague, because it's not good for you. Not I'll eat dates, because that is it,
Natural sugar.
yeah. I don't and trust me, when you've got something like a date, you can't eat a ton of those. You can only eat maybe one or two, and then you're like, okay, I'm like, that's enough, thank you very much. But I also love supplements, and I'll show you my ones. I've been supplementing with mushrooms for decades.
Hang
No,
on,
not
what
decades.
sort of mushrooms are we talking here?
They're all good mushrooms. So lion's mane,
Okay,
maitake,
uh,
cordyceps,
we're
reishi.
not talking hallucinogenic mushrooms
Turkey
here. No.
tail. No, 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 no. But I've always been. I went to Hong Kong to visit my mum one time when she was living there, and I got a bit of a cold, and I thought, oh God, of all the things. And I went into this Chinese pharmacy, and this woman was talking Chinese to me, which I didn't know, but I was trying to, like this. So she gave me these pills to take, and I'm thinking, okay, whatever. And I took them, and I got better really quickly, like really insanely quickly. And so I went back and bought some more to take home with me. And when my kids were sick, I said, how sick are you? How sick do you feel? Like on a scale of 1 to 10. And if they were like, I would, okay, you can have a pill. And they would get better. Now they go, Mom, we need the mushroom. And they're grown up. They go, what mushrooms are you doing? But it's legit mushrooms. I mean, these ones I put into my coffee, my decaffeinated coffee, which is water decaffeinated, not decaffeinated with chemicals and various things like that. And I've been probably about 95% plant-based for most of my life, because I'm not a big fan of eating meat, because I just don't like the texture myself personally. But I'm not against people if they want to do
Oh,
that. But
let's just go to vegan food for a second while we're on that then.
oh,
So I go back to reading the ingredients.
I do,
So
yeah.
all I'm suggesting for anyone who's watching who might be vegan, look at the ingredients. It may change your
Oh,
mind on what you're eating, and you may want to just cook something from scratch as opposed to buying a vegan
yeah.
ready meal.
I cook from scratch. I do a fantastic lion's mane steak. So I take lion's mane and I slice it like a steak, and then I grill it, and oh my God, it is so delicious. But you're right, because I was kind of, when I first started eating the like vegetarian, even way back when, I would go and get those vegetarian burgers and things, and then I started looking at the ingredients a few years ago,
You're
and
being asked what kind of mushroom, because that's why I laughed when you said mushrooms, because a lot of people on here might think it was a hallucinogenic mushroom, which might have taken you somewhere away from where you
no, no,
were.
no.
You might need to tell us.
These are legit mushrooms. Like shiitake mushrooms, which I love shiitake mushrooms, even little button
So
mushrooms, but
some
they're all
sort
really good for
of
you.
fungi from a supermarket,
Yes, yes,
you're
yes, yes.
saying.
And they're legit stuff. It's you can buy it at, say, and farm shops sell them as well, which is really good. And there's a food festival coming up where I live this weekend,
Oh, it's
and
your
I'm hoping that the mushroom man is going to be there because I want to get some more lion's mane because I have to drive a bit of a distance to get the
So,
lion's mane.
so one of the things I do to
Yeah.
detox myself is I use the detox kitchen,
Oh,
where
I saw that you
I
did
have
that.
food deliveries, and I don't do it very often, but when I do it the 5 day protein detox. So it gives you, and again, I think it's on my grid, the videos from it, and I think I have
You've got a
a
code.
code which gives you 20%, which is Cyril
Yeah.
20 if you were to buy from it. But I wasn't trying to flag it, but
No, but I
but
saw
it does.
that you did that, and I think that's a great idea because some people don't know what to do. I mean,
It
I
it reboots you when you've had a bit of a bingey time,
yeah,
or partied, and then it makes you feel, actually I'm going to be really super healthy again. But the food's delicious and you always feel full
yeah.
afterwards.
Well, I juice. I do celery juice every morning or carrot juice, depending on carrot with ginger. But I do celery a lot, and I love doing my own fresh. So I buy organic vegetables, and then I can juice them. I don't do like lots of fruit and things like that to juice because it's got high sugar glycemic thing. But it's really good, and for me, that is all that kind of thing that you're doing. That it really does make you feel really good. It's quite shocking how good it makes you feel.
I don't think I live quite as healthily as you,
Well,
because
no,
I do like eating meat, and I do have
oh,
vegetables. I do have lots of vegetables, but I don't live such a healthy life. But
no. Do you know what my big downfall is? I love to pieces
you
pizza.
love what?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza is my
Maybe
Achilles heel,
sourdough
and I have
pizza's
to be
better.
I try really hard not to have it very often, but I really do love a
But
pizza.
this goes to where I said a little
Yeah,
of what you fancy is better than never having it, because you
yeah,
never have it, you crave
yeah,
it. And if you crave something more, it becomes an obsession.
yeah.
And
And you're so right about people should look at ingredients list because I was looking at something that I thought was really good. For example, it was an oat milk, and they have carrageen in
never
it,
have oat milk, never
gargum. Oh,
have oat milk.
I
It's the
stopped. I stopped.
most highly processed, ultra processed milk you can have.
Absolutely.
Almond milk is better.
Yeah. Well, I have cashew milk as well,
Yeah.
but I also bought a nut milk machine so I can make my own nut milk. So I do not have to worry that some weird ingredient is going to be in there because that is really scary because you don't know how that is kind of how that affects you, and we won't know until years down the line. So
Okay.
okay,
I,
what's your number five?
Well, I'm not going to go to number five because I think I've gone through my five. My
Okay,
five were color, mindset, exercise, lymphatic drainage, and the foods you eat. But what I am going to do, let's do like a quick fire. Your
I'll do a quick thing. My five is fashion. So you've already expressed everything that I wanted to express about fashion. So that was my number five. So I don't have to do that.
So why don't we both do our favorite? You do some favorite products, and I do my favorite people who are my go-tos. Let's do that.
Okay, so you go first. Go on.
Okay, so my favorite hairdresser is Adem
Yeah,
in Belgravia.
yeah.
Um, not necessarily looking at my hair today, because when I first did the little video saying we were doing the live, I'd been swimming, and then I did the hair dry. But still, this is a non hair dried
Very
haircut
good.
that was done nearly over 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, secondly, my color, which I think color is really important. So it's a question of, do you let yourself go grey or do you keep blonde? Luckily, I don't really have, my mother didn't go grey till she was about 80. So I've got some time left. So I haven't gone grey,
Yeah.
but I like to be blonder than than I actually am. So I go to Chantal
Yeah,
Williams and Rice, which is in Chelsea. Obviously, I'm a bit sort of central London
yeah,
centric.
yeah. Exactly.
And then What was my other question? Yeah, those are my two favorite places. And so what's your two favorite
Well,
makeup
my
things?
hair thing. I'll tell you my hair thing. My favorite hairdresser is my friend Denise McAdam. So she
Okay.
does my hair. I love her and adore her. I have known her for over nearly 45 years. I did one of my first jobs with her when I came to the UK, and we've been friends ever since. And I chatted to her this morning on the phone before she went off for the weekend. So I've had to let my hair go gray. I was red, but when I went through chemo, it changed my hair to very gray, but I'm not allowed to color it. So I'm embracing my gray. So for those
You
out
look
there that,
fab.
you know,
That you look fab.
it,
So
you
let's
know what?
just well, on hair color though. So for women whose hair is changing, whether they're letting it go grey or they're still
Yeah,
coloring it, firstly, your hair color needs to change as your skin color changes as we get
yes,
older. Our skin tones change. So
absolutely.
we need to consider what hair color suits our face skin tones the
Yeah,
best, not the
yeah.
clothes, but our hair and our skin tones, because that makes a huge difference to how we look and the makeup we use and the clothes we wear.
100%, because if you're sticking with that hair color that looked great on you when you were 20, your skin has changed its color, and your makeup and everything, your clothes, your makeup is not going to go. It's good. Everything is going to be. You know how you see those pictures that are slightly like that? They're not in sync. And you want to be completely in sync. So that you're absolutely right. Now, and the other, what was my favorite? My favorite. Well, I like my own brand of makeup because I love my. I do actually wear my own brand of makeup, so I love my
Don't
products.
apologize. Your makeup brand is
Yeah,
fantastic.
no, but I've had people say, "Well, who do you wear? Whose makeup do you wear?" I thought, my own. I wouldn't make something that I wouldn't wear. Why would I do that? I don't want to make something go, it's good for you to wear, but touch it. No, I love, and I've got all my stuff here and I wear it. I love my supplements and things like that. I am a big fan, and I'm quite diverse about what supplements I take. What is the other thing? Oh, I've discovered this guy called Dr. David Jack. His skincare is so simple, and I am really not great at doing lots of different things. I don't like lots of different layers and things. And his stuff is it's a little bit pricey, but a tiny bit goes a long way. Like like for moisturizer, I put on like literally the end of my fingertip, and it does my whole face. And it is got an SPF of 50 plus. I mean, all of his stuff is really great. So my big shout out to him is because his stuff is really, really good. And I've only just discovered him in March, and my skin is looking the best it has since using his skincare. I'm
Your skin looks
shocked
great.
beyond belief. I'm so surprised. Like, I
Okay,
didn't think that was possible.
I've got another product that I really love. I obviously get gifted a lot of things as well because it's to try.
Mm,
However, I buy this myself all the
mm.
time. Boots, 17. What's it called? What's it called?
Is it
This is good when I'm trying
something
to
in
tell you what
renew
it's
or something like that?
protection
Revive and renew or something like
renew,
that. Yeah,
So I
yeah,
use the serum and the moisturizer, which is a day one and a night one, and is as good as any of the really super expensive La
yeah,
Prairie's or anything like that.
yeah. Well, that,
And it's like 20 or 30 pounds, which for a high street brand actually is quite a
yeah,
lot, but it's worth every single penny. So
no,
those is really, really, so that's one of my high street tips. Another thing I was going to say, that when we're, well, actually, this is my biggest bugbear. So I watch rubbish TV
oh,
quite often,
me too.
and you get sucked into reality TV, and I got sucked into Love Island. So here is my bugbear, and it will be yours as well. So I look at these 20-year-old girls, and they are only
Yeah,
20. They have had so much filler. So they've not just had Botox, they've had their eyebrows tattooed on,
oh,
but that's fine. Everyone to their own. But the amount of filler and the amount of work on filler on their cheeks, their lips, they've had nose jobs, that's fine.
mm,
But they are really young. But they've had so much rubbish put into their face. There was a thing that at some point I'm going to post, I just haven't had a chance,
yeah.
where an American surgeon is looking at the pictures of 5 of these
I
girls who are
saw that.
currently on Love
I was going to
Island.
say that to you. I was going to say, did you see? I saw that. Go ahead, tell them about this. This is really good.
He estimated each of these girls' ages somewhere between 30 and 40.
I saw that.
These girls are all in their 20s. Too much filler makes you look 10 or 20 years older than you actually are. So for me, whether it's my motto, whether it's dressing, whatever you're doing something with your face, less is more.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Don't start so young to have stuff done to your face, because by the time you get to my ripe old age, I think I might be older than you.
Only
to my ripe old age,
only a little bit.
Thank you. But by the time you get to my age, what is your face going to look like if you started at 20?
Yeah.
I mean,
this is
because there's only so much you can stick in your face, and the elasticity of your skin goes gradually. But if you've already filled it out when you're 20, when the elasticity is still there, when it's gone slack, there's nowhere for it to go.
No, I'm glad you saw that thing, because I was about to mention that, because I saw that and I thought, and I was trying to guess the ages as well along with him, and I figured that some of them had to be quite young because of the question, but there is no way that they looked their age. One was like 22 or something like that, and she looked easily 42.
She has had everything done, and I really do not understand. What worries me the most is these aestheticians actually do it and don't stop the girls. You should have some.
I think that young women need to be bolstered up, because it's self-esteem. It's feeling insecure. And I know that when we were younger, we had the same kind of insecurities and everything like that. The only way we could change anything was through makeup and hair and things like that. So that's why I always say to women, when we were learning how to do our makeup, we learned how to make ourselves look older, more mature, more sophisticated. But when you get older, you don't need to do that. Nature's already done that for you. But it's true. It's absolutely true. When I was 18, if someone told me I looked 25, I'd be going, thank you. But when I'm 45, I don't want someone to say, oh, I thought you were 55 or 60. Heck no. Not that there's anything wrong with looking older, but what I'm saying is you don't want to visibly make yourself look older. And that's what happens when girls are younger like that. They see everything, every little, what they consider an imperfection, and their mums and dads probably looking at them thinking that they look gorgeous, and they probably do look gorgeous.
No, I think maybe the girls I'm talking about, maybe their mums have done it for themselves. They've had the same.
But it's interesting you say. I remember doing Katie Price's makeup before she had anything done.
She was such a pretty girl, but the problem is it's addictive. It's like tattooing. It's like tattooing. It's like piercing. The moment you have fillers, but also then you forget what you looked like in the beginning. And the problem is, this is the problem with social media: comparison anxiety. So you look at how other people look who are maybe using filters. I will never filter on my Instagram or my socials at all. It's however rubbish I look, I'll try and look at the camera in my best angle, or with some, the lighting, which maybe isn't so good where I'm sitting in my kitchen at this moment. But the point is, never compare yourself to what you see on Instagram. It's not real.
Well, I remember meeting an actress. This was back in the, I think, late 80s, 90s. And she was a very famous actress. I'm not going to say who it was. And I saw pictures of her all over the place on magazine covers, everything like that. She's very famous. And we were in Brown's press office because I was doing a job for Brown's, and she came in, and it was literally, I went like this, like that. Like, I was shocked, because in those days it was just retouching in the magazine. But she looked so different in real life than she did in the magazine. It was like I was looking at two different people. It was quite a shock to me. And then that's when I realized that you need to look like you do, not like the sort of the airbrushed version of you. I know that doesn't sell magazines and things like that, so I do get that, but it was a real eye-opener for me.
But it's the same, talking about the looking like you. It's like when someone gets married and you're doing someone's makeup, you need to look like the person you really are, not a different version. So we probably need to wind up.
Absolutely. Now you've got a really lovely offer, so I'm going to let you do your offer, and then
I was going to say, the first person who doesn't follow me, who follows me, I will give a complimentary quick online help for their style session.
Fantastic. Now, and for Cyril to know that it came from here, that it wasn't just somebody randomly that followed you. If you put in the comments that you were watching Cyril and myself on this, then
In the
he'll
direct
know.
message.
Yeah. Otherwise, it could be somebody else that gets it, and we don't want that. We want someone from here to get it. Oh,
So
well, thank
I'm
you.
going to add, shall I just add a funny story from yesterday, which probably winds this whole conversation up for ageless inspiration.
Yeah.
So being currently single at the moment, I went on a date last night. So I thought, just for a change, I will go with someone a little bit younger, not significantly, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So this you couldn't make this up. So there I am sitting opposite this guy he was a good looking guy, and he didn't look young. I mean, there wasn't a significant age difference. However, this very, very drunken table next to us, who was super loud, and this very, very drunken man who was definitely late 60s, maybe more, but I mean, super drunk and super loud, comes past, and he was so loud that we both this guy and I, said something that, you were a little loud. He went, and then I won't say what he said, but he sort of swore and went, oh, well, we're going to have to I swear a lot. You'll just have to get used to it. But he was really, really loud. So I think we both said something back. So he then went to me, my date, I sat with him for 5 minutes, 10 minutes max so far. On our right-hand side, just to fill the whole story in, we're sitting outside this bar restaurant in Sloane Square. And next to us, there's these two girls who are taking Instagram pictures. One is holding up the coffee cup, doing all these different things. I swear to you, for 10 minutes, they're taking a picture of her holding the coffee cup. So that's one side going on. On the other side is this drunken table. And the man goes, so are you his mother? I'm on a date. That is not a great starting point. And for me, that is my worst case scenario. If I'm sitting with someone younger than me, you would never want to be asked if you're someone's mother. So
the thing is, Cyril, there is no way that you could be his mother. You would have had to have him at 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So we're sitting there. I'm sitting in shock, thinking this date is not going well. And the next thing I go, oh my God. And this guy who's sitting, not looking out to the street, goes, what's wrong? What's the matter? I went, it's my son. My son, I never bump into my son. He lives in Battersea. He lives the other side of the river. I'm on a date in Sloane Square. He is walking past on his way back from work. If I wanted to bump into him, it's rare. Yeah. And it's my son going, oh, hi. Oh, what are you doing here?
Did you introduce him to your date? Did you?
What?
You introduce him to your date?
This is Rory. This is Mark. Oh, hi. So the date goes, I think I'll just go to the toilet for a minute.
That is hilarious. That is very funny.
Yes, so my latest inspiration maybe is not going on a date with someone younger.
You know what I think? It's really interesting. A lot of my friends, I'm single as well. I've been single since 2012. They're all looking and dating younger men. Every single one of them.
Well, that was my thought process, but last night patently didn't work, did it?
Well, I think the guy was drunk, and I think he was just being nasty, because I think that you look fantastic no matter what. We're not saying, and I will never say, oh, you look great for your age, because I hate that. You look great, full stop. You know what? That's it. Done deal.
I did think I should have said back to this man, but when you're so taken aback by something, I should have said to him, what would you do if I said that and you were sitting with a young girl who you were sitting on a date with? What would you feel if I said, is that your daughter?
Yeah, he would have. You know what? He probably would have thought, oh, look at that. I've got a girlfriend that's. Yeah, they take it a different kind of way. So I'm going to just see if have we had any comments? Is anybody there thinking, people are laughing at that. Does anybody have any things that you thought that you think that, I can't even speak the words, you want to share with us that you do that make you feel great for whatever age you are, and what makes you feel happy? So yeah, hi there, Elaine. Yes, we talked about your thing. So yes, fantastic. Nice to see you there. But if you don't worry, you don't have to tell us anything. But if you do, then that would be good. Oop, I don't know how to make this go down. I'm messing around here. Oh, anyway, there we go. See. Anyway, thank you so much. I really would love to do this again because it has been, I hope everyone that's watched it has really enjoyed it. I will save this. I will make sure that Cyril can put it on her grid or whatever they call it, on her whatever, on her for her posts and everything like that. So that if you're following her, you can see this. If you're following me, you can see this. But it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
Lovely to chat to you, Ariane.
Lovely to chat with you as well. Thank you
And,
very much.
and
Bye bye,
thank
everybody, and
you.
thank you. And I will save this right now.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone. Bye. Let me just quickly see what that says before I say. Oh, sending you lots of love to Carol Ann. Thank you. Bye bye, everybody.